Well, the victims of the 9/11 terror attacks are being remembered some 24 years later. The annual remembrance ceremony took place earlier today, and many more will continue throughout the day. In all, nearly 3,000 people lost their lives on that tragic day. Dr. Carol Lieberman is a forensic psychiatrist, expert witness, best-selling, award-winning author of 4 books, 2 on terrorism and 2 on relationships. I should make mention, since 9/11, she has been devoting a significant portion of her time to help people cope with terrorism. She joins us right here on the Live Zone. Dr. Lieberman, truly a pleasure to see you and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So, Dr. Lieberman, you are known worldwide as America's psychiatrist. I would argue today is really a day that a number of people need a shoulder to cry on or someone to talk to.
Yes, absolutely. But not only is this a tragedy, of course, and we have to remember the victims and the first responders and honor all of these people, but we have to wake up and realize that it is not over. The danger of terrorism, the threat, is still ongoing. In fact, we're in more danger today than we ever were. This is why, I became the terrorist therapist at 9/11. I'm a born and bred New Yorker, and that's why that affected me so much. But also, I knew it was going to be the number one threat in our lives, and that is panning out to be true.
Yeah. I think we can all think back to where we were that day when it happened. That's one of the
Right.
times that I remember literally being on air. I was in Connecticut, New Haven to be exact, and I would assume you two were probably in New York, not too far away. With that being said, it still resonates with me. I experienced it. It was tangible. For a number of younger folks, I would say Gen Zers, they weren't around when that happened. And so, with that being said,
Yeah.
what is it that we need to do in order to bring more awareness that, yet again, terrorism is truly a threat? It was back then, and it still is now.
Yes, that is a big problem. Every year, the number of people who were born after 9/11 grows, the percentage of the population grows, and they don't have that feeling. It's kind of like learning about things in history, World War I, World War II. We can kind of understand it and all of that and feel bad, but it's not the same gut, gut feeling that we had on 9/11. And I actually had moved to California by then, but my daughter was in college in New York at Barnard, and telling me blow by blow descriptions, but I still feel it. That's my heart is still in New York. But it's not just about New York. Do you know they did studies saying that people who weren't in any of the places, the sites of the terror attacks, New York, the Pentagon, Pennsylvania Field, even if they weren't anywhere near that, but they watched the Twin Towers falling enough times, they could get PTSD. They did get PTSD. And so yes, we are all affected by this. I've created a tradition for the last 5 years where I made a music video. People can see it on my website, terroristtherapist.com, but it's going around New York this year. On a mobile billboard bus, and it's all about 9/11. It's not just, for the first years I did it like warm and fuzzy, why we should honor 9/11. Last year I redid it and made it so that more of a warning, how we have to be more awake to realize that this is not the end. And yes, if people are feeling, any of these signs being triggered by PTSD, sure, they should get help. But also they should take it as a warning. Take it, we don't want to feel this again.
Yeah. And so, with that being said, we'll wrap up with this, and that is, how can we prevent something like this from ever occurring again, where so many folks don't think that could actually happen?
Well, yes. Number one, we have to elect politicians who are aware of the dangers. Certainly, President Trump is, fortunately, we have him as president this year, this for another term, and because he certainly does understand the danger of terrorism. But we have to wherever politicians are running, we have to elect people who have shown that they have an awareness of the danger of terrorism. Plus, we need to make ourselves more healthier psychologically and physically so we can face these dangers. And we need to learn about 9/11. We need to, if we, even if we were there, we were alive, certainly the schools. One big thing is the schools. A lot of schools don't even acknowledge that it's 9/11, and they certainly don't teach about it in the appropriate way.
Yet again, we have been joined by Dr. Carol Lieberman, kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate your time, ma'am.
Thank you.